Hello, and welcome to That's Just Human, a podcast that explores all aspects of being human, living in a human body, and having human experiences. I'm your host, Elisha Light Angel, and by day I'm a licensed massage therapist, and I do this podcast. And just like you, I also happen to live in a human body and have a plethora of human experiences. Sometimes I just chat at you, and other times I have on guests. And today I have my dear friend Robin. She's a psychic energy healer and truly amazing and tuned into the divineness of the universe. I am absolutely blessed to have been her friend for over a dozen years, and she's amazing. So please welcome to my podcast, Robin. Welcome.
Hi, welcome, you guys. Welcome. It's an honor.
Well, thank you for coming on. You have a really cool story that we're going to talk about today. So, first, let's start a little bit synopsis of what you do right now as a psychic energy healer.
Right now, at this very moment, after years of doing multiple different multidimensional aspects to healing, learning, and teaching, but right now, I have decided to focus on encouragement for people, encouragement, enlightenment, confirmation, synchronicities, pulling things together that make sense. And then when we are speaking about things, like if I'm reading for someone on my YouTube channel, my audience is a lot of healers, psychics, tarot readers, a lot. And that was my focus, to encourage people who have spiritual gifts to find those gifts, to encourage those gifts, to empower those gifts, and to get out here and use them. And currently, there are at least 4 very, very active channels working around me in my community of people who somehow through the psychic channeling and the readings, I found them and I saw their qualities. And they had been, what's fun is they're all working now and they're doing so well, right? Their channels are doing well and their work is well, and they're heartfelt people. They deserve to be acknowledged. What's interesting about those things is that each of those people had their finger on a button, and all they needed was that confirmation, that encouragement that made them just say, yeah, this is what I'm going to do. So it's soul path, life path readings, love readings, energy readings. And so currently, I'm kind of merging more into Reiki healing to empower, to clear and empower people to protect the auric field, to rid themselves of unnecessary angst, energy, other people's energy, and to empower themselves again and be selves. And there's always more to that than meets the eye. There's so much work always to do. And as we know, energy shifts every second, you know, it's shifting. So we have to be like solid, 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 protected and shifting with it. Encouraging people to do their energy work, which would be like including qigong or ecstatic dance or singing or whatever it is that gets you empowered, but at the same time, learn how to protect the body, the energetic field, and the light field that you have around your body. Learn how to hold it in space. Hold it so that you have this auric field where anything comes at you, it's going to meet resistance because you have a protective field you put around yourself. However you want to call it, whatever the session is. If I'm working with your throat chakra or your third eye, we're going to wrap you in beautiful blue light. We're going to cover you in blue light. And then we're going to accentuate communication, open throat chakra, open third eye, deep, deep. And then we're going to just tap into that and encourage you to think from those spaces. Think from those spaces. Every bit of your chakras have their own power center. They have their own motor. They have their own purpose. And you can bring that purpose out by focusing. This is what we do, what they call meditation and self-healing techniques. Focusing and focusing your breath on a specific thing that you're working.
That's really
That's
cool. You have so much knowledge to be able to help people move and shift. And I love that. So I see you as very in tuned. I've had you give me readings and they're always like wherever I am in life, it's exactly what I need to maybe make the next step on my journey or sometimes make a decision. And I want to know, have you always felt like from childhood that you had this connection, or is it something that you developed into your adult years?
in my childhood years. I come from a line of psychics. They are. My mother's side is psychics. Um, and my father's side is more like the builders and this the serious ones. They build homes, they build things, build. And then my mother's side is the intuitive psychic flow, music talent, and it just really a long line of it through that Norwegian bloodline. It's just there. And I, as a child, though, I was in an environment that caused me to be on the defensive all the time, protecting myself all the time from abuse. And when you're protecting yourself from abuse, how are you going to settle down and really tap into yourself? So it really wasn't until after I got out of the mess and then worked through my own messes many years later that I was able to, it was time to settle down. And when I mean settle down, I mean settle down, settle in. Find your comfort zone, find your breathing, find your center, and shut up and listen.
Hmm.
And start listening and listening. I was wondering why the word says in the Bible, in James, it says, be swift to hear, slow to anger, slow to speech.
Mm.
Very good advice. It took me a long time to take that advice, so because working through that, but I knew there was something completely different about me than my other family, my other brothers and sisters. There's 7 of us, 8 of us. I'm number 3. And I found out much later what it was in my own search. That search for self.
Yeah.
And I found out much more about myself to the point where I'm excited to tell other people their numerology, their gematria numbers, who they are, what the sound of their soul is in the universe, and what they're here for. That's what I love to do. And
That's so beautiful.
it is intentional too. I have to hold space for that. Where I hold space? It isn't here. It's in my heart. It's in this beautiful, beautiful rebuilt solar system I call my heart. And I just feel like everything that I have done, learned, and gotten to psychically, these intuitions, I just believe now that it's so much easier to hear and to channel now because I'm open. I had to go through the dark night of the soul like a lot of people. Oh my God. And if I had to describe that to you, I wrote an article on Google, but if I had to describe the dark night of the soul, it's actually where you actually face yourself 100%. Whatever it was you were codependent on or dependent on or going through for the longest time, which kept you stuck, that might disappear out of your life. That might change. Boom. You're stuck with what? Yourself. I went through so many things in the mental space, in the spiritual space, and crying and dealing with things and asking God and praying and talking and seeking advice. How. And I think one of the things I did was during the process of finding the gifts, really, really tapping into them, because they're there. All of us have psychic gifts. We're all distributed differently, because God gives amazing, miraculous gifts to people. But only, the word says those responsible with least will be responsible with much. It just makes common sense. And when you're grounded and able to hold something and use it, you can become a channel for energy, for healing, for light, for messages. You're just a channel, and you realize in your humility, you're a solid channel, you're allowing, but you're tuned in so you can bring it through, whatever it is. And for every soul, it's going to be different.
Mm-hmm.
So I have beautiful angels and guides that work with me. My Vulia, the golden angel, I found that out as well. Yeah. That's what I've been up to lately. I just recently moved and I'm still trying to recoup. It's been exactly a month. And I don't feel fully recouped, you know, because the
That
process.
definitely takes a while.
Yeah, so I'm kind of there. I don't feel like I'm really pushing forward with my business or anything. I'm just kind of hanging in there, just relaxing for a little bit, picking up signals, doing what I can. And that's part of the self-love. When you have to stop or you have to slow down, you have to. Because if you don't, your vessel cannot keep up with your spirit. My spirit's on fire. So, you got to protect the vessel. You're in the body, as we were talking about the body.
Absolutely. So your vessel has been through a lot too. And even the fact that you're doing this business right now is really impressive. And so, can you give us a little bit of history on this vessel that you're in and some of the damage that it has incurred?
Oh, oh wow. Mm. Well, I did go through some severe abuse as a child. I was almost beaten to death with a broom, which was also something that brought me into the future, into that dark night of the soul. But I
Mm-hmm.
had to be in a more advanced phase to process it again without emotion. That's another secret I want to share with you. So I have goodness. Well, I thought I had it made at one point. I left in a bad marriage and bought a condo. Gorgeous condo. It's where your head's at, right? Beautiful, gorgeous condo. And it was not meant to be to keep it very long. I thought I could, you always think you're going to settle. But I was painting and I fell 10 feet off the ladder and smashed my lumbar, my L1, right in the middle. T12 L1. That was a torturous experience only because I had no support to heal. And I had a full-time job where I sat pre-certifying surgery. So that was very tough. I don't want to go into that too much because I've already processed that. I'm still dealing with it, but mostly in the form of like when something goes off on your anatomy, your tissues will lock up, right? You get tough tissues. So I discovered that in my body's case, broken tailbone, broken back, whatever, massage, critical. I learned through being broken that massage is key number one. And it surprises me that insurance doesn't pay for it. They want you to have physical therapy, which is really a nightmare to me. Um, when actually what you need is you need nurturance and the soothing hand, healer's hand. Your body needs to respond. You need to speak to it. Anyway, that's my thing about the broken tailbone. There's more to it. I won't go into that part. Later on down the line, I had neck surgery. That's been a problem for me. You know, it's been a problem. But I have a condition in my neck and I'm always in pain. So it just is what it is. Post-surgical stuff can be troubling if you don't get the proper care for a longer period of time. So I seek help for that and I deal with that. It's in a better place than it has been in a while. Probably because of the energy that I'm in, the healing energy, right?
Mm-hmm.
All right. It's the funniest thing. I fell um, and broke my arm in public a couple of years ago with a friend of mine. doing service work, doing good work, and I broke my elbow. And I filed a claim on it, and it took forever to settle the claim. But I finally got some help, and it healed up. It healed up really good, really good. But during that process, I tripped and broke a finger, trying to protect the elbow, and the toe broke a toe, trying to protect the elbow. You know how we do these compensation moves and things in our bodies, and trust me, none of this is fun. During all this stuff, though, the tailbone broken was later. I was put on disability with the government. You're too broken to work. And I want to tell you something about this. Oh my God, the medical community. I only have one word for it. Two words, programmed nightmare. Programmed nightmare. That led me, all the mistakes and all the stupid medicine. And I found myself, they wanted me to be on the most ridiculous stuff for the longest period of time. And I started getting to know myself better because I didn't have to force and go work. So I'm home alone healing. During that process, Elisha, I learned how to manage my own medicine. Doctors didn't like it. How dare you tell me to take 3 Vicodins a day? Are you crazy? So I'm one of those that went, I like my talents. I like my personality. I like having energy. I like being able to sleep. I like myself. So in that process of I like myself, I'm like, I'm going to see what happens. So I started taking way down, dropping down to like every other day, the medicine they gave me, every other day, which went into 4 days, which went into half the meds, which titrated, they call it titrating down. Titrate is the process. I titrated myself down on pain medicines. They gave me Xanax for a long time because I couldn't sleep from the pain. It knocked me out. Oh my God, I titrated all the way down to like little bitty amounts. And during that process is when I started to come back into my empower my energy field and my knowledge and my self-control. I learned a lot about self-control. I also learned a lot about the system. Most medical people are MK Ultra. That's my opinion. I'm sticking with it. Programmed. They're programmed. They called me yesterday and they go, "It's time for your mammogram." I said, "Ma'am, I'm sitting on a broken tailbone and you want me to do a mammogram?" See, it's regulated. And I think you should regulate a lot of yourself. Most medical things do require some intervention, okay, especially emergencies. But on the long run, is it really necessary to be stuffing your body full of a lot of junk? I got to take it. They told me I got to take it. I got to take it. You lose yourself. You lose yourself. You become like zombie-ish. And then if you're not careful, your depression can kick in because the medicines will do that to you. I'm like, nah, I don't like that. I have a very vibrant personality and energy field. I want it to stay that way. So I titrated down. And this is very critical information. I've been giving it to a lot of people that are on ridiculous amounts of medicine. I've dealt with chronic pain, level 10, for years. And there's a way to deal with it and ignore it and work with it and get therapy with it and handle it and talk to your body. I talk to my body all the time. And I had my inversion table for a long, long time. Oh my God, was that a helper? Until I broke the tailbone during COVID, and then everything changed. You really can't be yanking, when you're in your late 60s. You really can't yank that hard. So I was yanking too much, and I think it did a number on my right hip. So I sold that thing, but I learned a lot. And when I was upside down on the machine, I would literally do Reiki on myself. I would literally tell my bowels or my back or whatever was bothering me. I'd literally Focus on it. Send it healing energy. I know you know what. I'd say I know my knee was hurting. I go, I know you know what to do to heal yourself. Heal yourself. That's what I do to my body. Heal yourself. It's shocking. It's like what Jesus used to do, lay on hands and psh, right? There's a purpose for that. People just don't talk to their bodies enough. They're not connected, you know. And anyway, I I had gone through a lot, you know, and on disability. I was on disability, and you know, what a boring situation to be sitting around and talented, like multi-talented and sitting around. Well, when I was though, I'll give you a secret. I have a book of poetry and music that I wrote all of it out. Wrote. There's no better way to get to know yourself than to really display your feelings on paper, your emotions and feelings.
Mm.
And I have this thing inside of me. I don't know where it comes from. It must be God or something. Where anytime I started writing something hateful or horrible or sorrowful or complaining, I turn it into something positive. Spirit says, oh no, if somebody's going to read this, they're not going to read that. You don't want them looking at it and going, oh, this is, what a horrible. So they turn it into something positive. And that was like that song I sang to you, Wonderful.
Mm.
It was in the midst of horror that the magic is produced sometimes. It's in the midst of horror. Some of the greatest things can come out of it. It's your source energy.
That's
You know?
so true. So, did sitting around being bored, I mean, having, as you said, being a multi-talented individual and you have lots of thoughts and ideas and just wanting full of life, wanting to bring things full to life. So, was this like a motivation to start your business, or how did that roll out and come into fruition for you?
Well, I was sitting around listening to other psychics talk for a while during healing process and sitting around and listening. And I'm like, golly, I could do that. Inspiration. I should do that. Should I do that? And absolutely, I got 100% yes. Wow, because of the gifts. And so through all that time, I learned a lot about myself. I decided I was not going to sit around and be pitiful. I wanted to be powerful. I didn't want to be on disability, but I was nearing 65, so I was able to get off disability and just get SSI and work my business as an LLC. So I started it in 2018, actually, just off the cuff. I just opened a YouTube channel, got an email. My God, my God. I filled these little books, this many books, in less than 6 months. I had
Wow.
that. I'm little books. I have lots and lots of clients, but I don't know where they are. I'm not one of those that sends out a billion emails. How you doing? You know, I should do more of that and reach out to people. But lots and lots of experience came in. Boom, 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 real fast. Lots of money came in. And that was really interesting. Humility, money. I was building my store. I was building my new cards and building. And then COVID. Growing. And then COVID. And I was getting ready. Just before COVID, 3 days after COVID was announced, I was scheduled to go to California
Ah,
and work with other psychics. I lost my plane ticket. I lost my opportunity. And I don't know, for a while, I think I lost my mind and I got it back. But So I just went and I said, you know what? I don't give a damn if it's COVID or not. Let me make this business legal. It took me 2 years to make it like Ellen's. It was so worth it to protect the income from what I was dealing with. And then I want to talk to you about doing a business and working on disability
Yes,
legally.
tell me.
Wow. Well, you know what's interesting? You know, all this time of insights and finding out about yourself and trusting yourself and trusting your guides and the people that actually got me on disability. It's a business called ALSUP Incorporated, ALLSUP. The owner of ALSUP worked for the disability department for many, many years for Social Security and decided to open up his businesses in Illinois. I recommend it if you are disabled, go there first. But make sure that if you go to apply for disability, you literally have a really clear doctor's letter explaining his diagnosis, his sources of why he feels that diagnosis is, going to keep you back or put you down so you can't go work full time. Because it's about working full time. Isn't that odd? So my doctor did. I think it was 8 pages and lots of stuff. And he just put it all together in a neat package. And they said, sure. What was interesting was I went right back to them. And I said, will you handle me if I decide to start a business, an LLC? And they said, sure. So what they did was they sponsored me with Social Security. They did all the work in the background. All I had to do was once a week record how much I made, how many hours I put in, and just write it down on a piece of paper and fax it to them. That was it. And that went on for a couple of years until I got my letter from SSI saying, yeah, you're off disability now. You're just going to get your full benefit. And so it's not much. It's super poverty, but it's supply. It's a place to be. It's grounding. It's security. And I have built from that. So I just continued. I started my business and just continued. Even though the resources were done, COVID came through, people were not having money, people lost their businesses. I continued. I don't know how, by the grace of divine, right? You know what I mean? And then
Yeah.
working with ailments, a bad neck, a bad back. What happened was during the course of that, I learned how to manage it, how to manage it, how to give massages, when to schedule, when to sit in a jets, when to soak in Epsom salt, when to take magnesium, because I'm mostly on minerals right now and vitamins, to be honest with you, after all that damage. And so I'm proud of that too, because really, that takes a super consciousness to get off medicines and just use vitamins and herbs and natural services, holistic services to bring you into as peak of form as you could possibly be at the moment. And I'm in a peak of form as I can possibly be in the moment right now.
I
Um,
love that for you.
I think it's very important. You got to really self-love though, and that may require you to do things you didn't do before because you have to in order to maintain. Like I've got a chair massager and it heats and da 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 da, get everything vibrating in the body, get the blood flowing. If you're in a room and you can't get the care you need, like I am right now, I do it for myself, man, right? I do it for myself, or I will barter with someone. Hey, can I get a massage in exchange for a reading or a psychic session? Works every time. It's a wonderful thing to have a gift to offer people. You have insight, you have positive energy, they need an answer, you need hands on therapy. It's a win win, right?
I love the barter system. I'm all about it. What has been your motivation that has kept you continuing to do the business? And even at this point, you're now looking to expand your offerings
Yeah.
in your business.
I think it's love. I really do. I think, when you've been tortured and you've been through a lot and you I'm just called to do it. I just feel called to do this work. The desire to do the will of the one who sent me, to use those spiritual gifts that he gave me, the divine has given me. That's a powerful desire. Also, knowing yourself and being secure in yourself. If you know you're good at something, then you're called to do it. Just do it, right? Do it. Whatever it is, just do it. So the motivation is not to sit around depending on a lot of other people, but to get focused on helping other people. Even if all you're doing is sitting at home, reading a book on a channel, you have no idea how spirit works with them in the background.
Mm.
I've had so many people come back and go, I was just thinking that, or I knew that, or wow. People always say, wow, how did you know this? Just kind of tapping in. So the desire to encourage people, make connections, not be alone, that's critical, not be lazy, be productive, and use the skills that are given to me, the energy healing skills that are given to you, and use them to amplify the energy, amplify the attention, and help other people advance, evolve. That's hope, helping other people evolve. HOPE, helping other people evolve. That's really what it is, and I like it. I'd like to do more. I am set back right now because during COVID I broke my tailbone in 2 places. That was the worst torture. I've had neck surgeries, back surgeries. I've had many babies. I've been through a lot. I've never experienced torture like a broken tailbone at all. It is the worst. And guess what? It healed up, and I foolishly sat on it and ruined it again. So right now
Mm.
you're looking at a girl who has a broken tailbone, really bad pain. I'm in really bad pain all the time, even when I work. I'm in pain. But you know what I do? I try to use yoga, stretching, sitting on ice, sitting on a massage, heating pads, getting enough sleep, being good to myself, you know? Be good to yourself. So you can't do everything. But a lot of what you can do, I found the secret really is exercise.
I
The
concur.
back,
Keep moving, and then the body, it's just like lubricating the joints when you're moving the joints, it stops them from being stiff. So movement is the way that we oil up our body's movement patterns, and also you're keeping the strength in your muscles and helping to keep some limberness in your muscles with stretching. And then you can keep moving more or doing the things that you just want to do as part of your everyday life.
yeah. And I think the key here is to avoid extremes, you know, but avoid extremes because you
Mm.
can overdo everything. I think mindset is going to be extremely critical for you, though. If you're going through any hardships or trouble. I've put up with a lot of nonsense and ridiculing and things, and strange things, not good things sometimes. Say just keep your feet on the ground, make your plans, plan ahead if you can, make your plans, keep your word. Miguel Ruiz, be impeccable with your word. I always tell people, mean what you say and say what you mean. And I'm so protective of my energy and what I'm doing now because it takes so much for me to do it. With pain, it takes a lot. And disadvantage, unable to work full time out here. Um, Things are slow right now for me. I don't know if that's because I'm in a healing phase and pulled back and just moved. I'm reinventing some things, like the energy Reiki healing. But I wish the finances were a little better for me because they used to be really spectacular. The flow is so good. I don't know what happened, but I'm hoping that I get more clients because I can read you like a book and I don't need your book and I don't need the cards. I just need the angels and the holy ones. I only need to see you or hear you.
Would you possibly be willing to channel a message for anyone that's listening today, that whatever time, space that it comes to them?
Absolutely. And I'm offering a free 15-minute consultation, spiritual consultation for anyone that wants to go a step further. It has to do, now let me tell you, this very focused, spirit is focused. Angels aren't just going to pop around you unless they have a purpose for you, right? You have to
Mhm.
follow the purpose. You have to be the vessel that they want to use. It's critical. That's good advice. I give advice all the time. But I'm picking up, actually, I have been picking something up. I've been picking up people who are on the edge of their seat. They're very uncomfortable because they don't know what to do next. They don't know what to do next. And then I'm also picking up someone who keeps praying over and over and over and over for the same thing, but they're not looking at it from a different angle. And maybe their prayer was answered already, but they missed it.
Mm.
This is also a problem with trying to over control the universe, God, your guides. It has to be able to flow through you, wash through with your reasoning, with your spirit. You have to hear it, and then you can move on it. Sometimes we're just resistant, and some people are just resistant. So they're sitting there in this holding pattern. I don't know what to do. Right? That's when you reach out. That's when you reach out. If you've asked God 1,000 times and you're stuck, even if it's a horrible relationship, sometimes it's not horrible. Sometimes you just need really good guidance on how to communicate with your person or whatever. But honestly, Elisha, I I think if somebody really, really, really is kind of stuck, whether it be career, whether it be love, romance, whether it be the decision to move, I have clients who call me well, I have a client. I'll be honest and confess. Is this the United States? Okay, let's get real. I have a client, a big, big medical marijuana client. She wanted to buy 20 acres of property to do her medicine. The advice that I gave her worked. She's expanding. And I'm back here quiet, watching. I'm watching. She's expanding. I'm just like, yes, girl, let's do it. Right? I get a lot of feedback. I do. 5-star. I love this. But I have noticed something, Alicia, about our environment we're in. AI, online,
Mhm.
requirements, obligations, timelines, the control factors. Okay, you know what I'm talking about. The control factors. Let's give them this much notice, or let's give them that audience. It's like that. They tell you you're creating the audience, of course, but not really. They manipulate. We all know this. Look at Facebook, for example. What? It's an inch. Ugh, it's a mess. I don't even put a lot on there anymore because I'm tired. I don't have time for that. But then you bring your messages out. So, man, girl, I'm all over the place though with my work. And if you want to find me, simply go to my email, robinsrealmreadings@gmail.com. I got you, baby. Whatever we need to go through. I believe in you. This is one thing about believing in yourself. You can believe in other people. Let's face it, we do not have enough of that. Help people have confidence in a decision and give them a reason why they need confidence in that decision. And then sit back and let them email you and go, oh my God, how did you know? How did you know I was thinking that? Or I deal with mediums. She just today came back and goes, this is exactly what I just did. I'm like, well, it's synchronicities. It's universal synchronicities. It's a higher Metatron. It's Metatron. It's the third eye expanding, the truth expanding, and I'm touching down on it because I'm purposely focusing not on me and what I want, but what I'm hearing, picking up, and understanding. You know, people, the flesh is just the flesh, bro. You got to take care of it, manage it, but it's a vessel for your voice, your skills, your love, and your power. Right? It's a vessel. You got to take care of your vessel, but don't let it hold you back. That's my advice. Don't let it hold you back. I didn't. I still work in chronic pain, though, but I got all these cushy pillows and all this stuff to comfort myself, and I'm blessed enough to take a nap when I want. You know, I'm excited about that. You know how it's like, oh, I got a cushy chair here. I got my beautiful massage table set up. It's really nice to be able to get on it myself and do therapy on it. And I do. Everything I learned in physical therapy, I literally use because I know it works. But why do you have to keep going back when you know it works? Use it. You know, different things they taught me. Use those things. It's not just because you had a bad knee or a bad back. Use those things. Remember, if they give you bands to work on, there's a reason for it. You obviously needed it. You might need it for the rest of your life. That's where I'm at with it right now. I'm just trying to get this off the ground, my gorgeous Reiki training course. What I call it is Reiki by Robin, energy. I'm confident. This is my thing. It's High Priestess. It's your energy. It's your God force. It's the solutions that are just sitting there swirling around in your body or locked up. We have to unlock it. Your power source. What allows you to overcome addictions, to be confident in yourself, to start self-caring better. It's right here. It's right here. It's right here. You know, it's just so beautiful. And I want to remind you, the energy is about the amplifying G. By the way, I will say this on this interview. Part of my training is some of the things I learned. The reason I call it the energy, the letter G is number 7. 7. 7 is completion. 7 is powerful. In tarot, you've got the 7 of Pentacles. Building, what you're building on, something solid, what you're nurturing, whatever you're nurturing. Then you have the 7 of Cups. Being in a position where you literally have options and choices, and the choices has to be made from your soul. It has to be a soul calling, like you're being called to make a decision. What do you want? It's like grace. God says, what do you want? Choose it. Then you have the 7 of Swords, which is shrewd, the knowledge of good and evil. That's the 7 of Swords. It's also shrewdness or deceit. It can be either or. Use it the right way. And it's shrewdness. I'll give you an example. I use this example for the 7 of Swords in a shrewd way, in a positive way. Whereas King Saul was chasing David in the wilderness in the old scriptures and torturing him and making him run for his life. But what David did under his divine inspiration was he waited until like 2 or 3 in the morning when everybody was asleep in the camp, dead asleep. And he and his men tiptoed in all around those people, stole their swords, and snuck out of the camp with their weapons while they slept. That's 7 of Swords in its highest form. That is shrewd thinking. Intelligence. They woke up and didn't have any swords. David had the swords. Went into the enemy camp and got them. Clever. And then you have the beautiful 7 of Wands. Now, the 7 of Wands is, to me, understanding numerology, understanding purpose of them. It takes away the mystical element and puts it into a more practical element for you, which is guidance. When you get the Seven of Wands, you have overcome some serious things. You're at a completion stage. You have overcome, you have ignored all the drama, all the sickness, all the crap around you, all the people think, all the energy around you that is irrelevant to your calling and your power. And you get up on that horse, which is your vehicle. Me, it's my business. You, it's your business. We're on our horse. We've overcome something, so we deserve the crown of victory. Carrying a crown of victory, we have one wand in our hand. It represents our energy. It represents our goal, our power. We're holding it like a javelin, like, you know, what am I thinking? The knights that ride and
Oh, yeah. I know what you're talking about.
you got 5 people around you and they're all mixed up. The energy's messed up. Blah, blah, blah. But at one point, they're going to admire you. You will rise above. That's the seven of wands. You rise above and you are seen. You don't get there easily, though. You don't get there easily, but you deserve that spot. When you get there, you deserve to be on that horse, girl. Whoever you are, you deserve what you got. You've overcome all kinds of torment and background noise and other people's opinions and religious crap and all that. You're like, that is not me. I'm going to get up on my horse and go confidently forward. The horse is white every time. Pure intentions, divine guidance, supply and demand. The white horse.
Mm.
You see the reference there, the white horse. So to me,
Yeah.
it's a connecting numbers, dots, energies, and just going with it. And one of the things I have learned is just be confident. When I'm reading something, I get it. I'm fast. I blow people's minds because I can go real deep and fast with my stuff. I can just cards down and bum, 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 and immediately I know what's going on. But there's a reason for that. Why I'm different like that. And that is somewhere along the line, I met a lovely lady named Zoe Coley. Multi-talented artist herself. What an interesting life. And I met you through that too. Same timeline. But Zoe told me about the Mayan calendar, the original Sumerian Mayan calendar, irrelevant of the Gregorian 12 houses. It's irrelevant. That was created by Pope Gregory, right? In the Catholic Church. They changed a lot of things. They wanted to control. So when you go back to the original timelines, everything's different. So I learned that not why I could sing, why I could play guitar efficiently, why I could write poetry like da, 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 da. I can do tarot readings and do a poem. I could read it like a poem. I might do that tonight. Surprise people. It's like rapping to tarot, you know? And it's energy. It's fun. I learned all these things. How I'm able to cook like I do, or dance, or do all these skills. It's because I was born to do them. The day that I was born is called a Mayan Galactic Activation Portal. It was a unique day where number 7s come in. The 7s come in. I'm a Mayan 7. They come in and they have skills to teach, to heal, to bring music and art and all these cool things for it. And the greatest example of a people born on a day that's special like that I use is Jose Aguilar does the work on Law of Time, and he is the Beatles. All 4 of the Beatles, isn't that ironic? All 4 of the Beatles were born on a Galactic Activation Portal day. From the stars, baby. From the stars. Honestly.
Wow. I did not know that.
Look at their gifts. Look at their music. Unending talent. Incredible. And then the power And they went through hell to bring it forth too, you know. A lot of people want to tell you how and what to do, you know. And I think that if you're intentional, if you're intended to do something, those things will come to you. You'll learn them, but learn them quick, right? And just get your confidence and go for it. If I can help anyone at all from this particular interview, I think I can. I've helped so many people, and they've helped me back. The pleasure of someone coming back to you and saying, oh my God, that was just exactly what I needed. It's because I was able to tap in through the higher mind, through love. You put your ego down. It's not about you.
Yes.
And
I'm
you're
going to
love.
put in the show notes how you can reach Robin. So she has several different links where you can find her on the internet. It's all going to be listed. You can watch her YouTube channel. You can connect with her personally. Whatever is up to you. So we are coming to the end of our time. So I have one more question for you. Is there any little bit of wisdom from your own life that you would like to leave the audience with?
Oh my goodness. I don't know. I've been picking up clairaudience lately, and I've been hearing songs, and I just heard, "We shall overcome." Listen, hold your head up, woman. Hold your head up, woman. Hold your head up, woman. Hold your head high. You understand? You can do it. I don't care what circumstance you're in. If you believe in yourself and you know and you get confirmation that you can do something, if you want to know, just reach out. I'll be so happy to help you with your confidence. But remember, you have to do the work. And the work begins with faith, believing in yourself, believing in source. No doubts. Doubt stops your progress. Faith helps your progress.
Mm, that's a good bit of wisdom. Thank you. And I
You're
really
welcome.
appreciate you coming on and sharing a piece of yourself and letting people get to know you a little bit better and, what it's like living in your body and then pushing through all of that because I think we can all be inspired to push through at times in our life when we are in pain or not wanting to push through, but there's rewards at the end. So thank you.
Oh, there. Yes. This is one of them.
Yes. Beautiful
Yeah.
friendship is a reward. Um, so, to my audience, as you embrace your humanness, remember to be kind, be you, and remember that everything is part of the journey.